sovereignty, or as we can call it as food security, is actually one of the many roots of indigenous communities. And if you look at indigenous communities, we will witness or observe it is mostly the indigenous women who are involved, or who are the custodians, or who have more power over the food sovereignty of their indigenous communities.
Indigenous women play an important role in the food production process, but this role is not generally acknowledged. In fact, they are key actors in the transmission of tradition and intergenerational cultural practices.
La preocupación es de la mujer indígena porque siempre nosotros estamos preocupadas por el cambio climático, por cómo cuidar nuestra Pachamama, y como nosotros como mujer indígena siempre decimos, no somos las que representamos nosotros a Pachamama y somos las mujeres indígenas que más nos preocupamos de la Pachamama.
In 2015, FIMI, with the support of the Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, implemented for the first time the Program on Human Rights, Food and Nutrition Security under the umbrella of the Indigenous Women's Global Leadership School. The program was implemented in Bolivia, India, the Philippines and Peru from May 2015 throughout March 2016, benefiting 84 indigenous women. The program consisted of 3 stages, corresponding on facilitating online training through a virtual platform, an intensive face-to-face 10-day training workshops, and the monitoring of the implementation of advocacy plans designed by the participants to be addressed at local and national levels.
When we first started the FIMI FAO program on food security, and also trained women on international advocacy skills, during the virtual program, it was first quite difficult for areas like ours where internet facility is not up to the mark, or rather it's too erratic to fulfill the virtual programs. But however, as far as the building the capacity of an individual, of women who are willing to go higher than the local level, FIMI and FAO have really built that platform for us, have really created that platform for us, where we, after the coming of the international school, that the rapport and the network with different international organizations will build, and hopefully it will be strengthened for the better future of the communities that we work with.
The seminars and activities of the face-to-face training workshops promoted the interaction among participants, strengthened their national indigenous women networks, and included the participation of FAO's experts, enriching the discussion and knowledge exchanges. Through the program, indigenous women leaders were able to increase their knowledge on some of the core principles and rights that constitutes the basis of FAO's work with indigenous peoples, which are free, prior and informed consent, rights to land and natural resources, self-determination, gender equality, collective rights, development with identity, participation and inclusion, and cultural rights. Furthermore, both the virtual and the face-to-face training workshops include specific areas of FAO's work, such as food and nutrition security, indigenous food systems and protection of traditional knowledge, development with identity and livelihoods.
Si nosotros tenemos nuestros alimentos nutritivos, nuestros alimentos nativos, ¿por qué la desnutrición? ¿Qué está pasando aquí? Porque no hay apoyo de las autoridades, más las autoridades pues piensan, ¿no?, en el cemento, en el fierro, hacer los parques, las calles, ¿no?, pero ellos no piensan, ¿no?, en los niños, en el futuro, porque más dicen buenos colegios, ¿no?, equipados, todo, pero si no tenemos niños muy bien alimentados, niños sanos, pues ¿de qué educación podemos hablar?
The partnership between FIMI and FAO's main goal is to strengthen the leadership capacities of indigenous women, particularly in the use of international and national instruments of human rights, indigenous peoples and women's rights, and advocacy strategies to promote social change, food security, and the sustainable management and utilization of natural resources, including land, water, air, climate, and genetic resources, for the benefit of present and future generations.
Armando, ya me voy con mis armas a mi comunidad porque ya conozco qué instrumentos está a favor de las mujeres indígenas, ya sé qué instrumentos podemos utilizar, ¿no? Frente a, por ejemplo, la discriminación de la mujer indígena, la violencia contra la mujer.
The International Indigenous Women's Forum, FIMI, strongly believes that the most effective means to ensure Indigenous women's empowerment and lasting social change can be acquired through the implementation of processes that combine participation, capacity building, and organizational strengthening.
This food sovereignty and food security will help cater or will help combat climate change in a way that each indigenous community will be self-sustained by their own plantations, by their own agricultural plantations. So it is important to try and promote this. It is important to try and speak with women, especially at the indigenous community, to reduce the use of processed food, rather to enhance and to have more value on their own food systems that they have in their local areas.